everyone. Thank you for having me here today. Most of you have never met a little person before. I'm here to show you that even though I'm short, I'm really no different than anybody else. My name is Becky and I was born a little person. But more specifically, I'm an achondroplastic dwarf. This explains why I stand 4 feet tall. It also means that I have an average height torso along with shorter arms and legs. There are approximately 200 types of dwarfism, but mine is the most common. Each type of dwarfism may result in medical complications. I've undergone 8 surgical procedures, however, I have friends who have had over 20. When I was first born, my parents had no clue what to expect. They didn't know that I was going to be little until the day that I was born. As a newborn, I looked a little bit like a character, where my head was significantly larger than the rest of my body. This was an obvious implication that my life was going to be different than what one may think as normal. Due to the lack of a full understanding towards dwarfism and potential sleep apnea, the doctors didn't think that I was going to make it through the night. Here I am, 29 years later, alive and kicking. My parents are not little people. In fact, my dad is over 6 feet tall. My mother is shorter than my father, but she doesn't quite make the cut of standing below 4'10", which is the maximum height of a little person. In fact, 80% of little people are born to average height parents, which means that they're taller than 4'10". My sister, Courtney, who's also average height, is older than me. My father always joked that he wanted 1 child and my mother wanted 2, so they settled at 1.5. He wanted to make sure that I was prepared for comments that may come from people who live outside of our home. Growing up, the best thing that my family and friends did was to not treat me differently than anyone else. I've always wanted to face the same challenges everyone else has had to face. I grew up as an active participant along my average height peers in sailing, skiing, soccer, and swimming. Fear of the unknown is a common feeling amongst members of society. Since there are only about 30,000 little people among 314 million citizens living in the United States, most people may never see a little person in their lifetime. This means what people see on television and in movies is where perceptions stem from. Some people automatically assume that because I look different, I must not have the mental capacity that other people have. Once we have a conversation, they realize I'm no different from anyone else. I have the ability to maintain a life with normal conversations, jobs, physical activities, relationships, and even driving a car. I've spent the past 6 years working in Hollywood. After over 1,000 job applications, 100 interviews, and a few temporary job assignments, I landed at the top agency in Hollywood, where I worked for 5 years. My favorite part of working there was meeting some very interesting people. On Fridays, during the lunch hour, I attended creative pitch lunches where I had the opportunity to pitch potential projects to people like Zac Efron, Isla Fisher, John Hader, Tobey Maguire, Eva Mendes, Jeremy Piven, Meg Ryan, and several others. In addition, I've had some great conversations with people like Jim Carrey, Colin Farrell, Jamie Foxx, Topher Grace, Tom Hanks, and Amy Smart. People often ask me if I could start over again, would I still choose to be a little person? I've always responded by saying that I would still want to be a little person, but one thing that I would change is the way that the outside world reacts to my physical difference. I'm here today and hope to educate the world in order to change these perceptions and the way that people react towards little people and all people with physical differences. I encourage all of you not to treat anyone differently, even if they may appear to be different. Treat others the way that you want to be treated. Take the opportunity to get to know and learn from them. And now's the time for you to ask any questions.